Jackie Cation, Laurie Kilmartin. Jackie Cation, Laurie Kilmartin. It's the Jackie and Laurie Show. The Jackie and Laurie Show. It's the Jackie and Laurie Show. The Jackie and Laurie Show.
Are you hearing that? My washing machine just... Okay, hold on.
This seems important. Ooh, this is our golden opportunity. Maybe I'll hand the one mic to Kyle, and all of a sudden...
No! I don't share.
Hello, Laurie Kilmartin.
Hello, Jacqueline.
I have just come from the Wendy Liebman Trials of Job show.
Oh,
because that poor lady, man, she's the greatest joke writer in a generation, in several generations, quite honestly. And she runs a show at Vitello's where Robert Blake did not kill his wife. Turns out she was killed outside. Anyway, so
I think Wendy might appreciate you not plugging her gig anymore.
Well, I'm going to cash the check first, and then this will release. It was actually, I freaking love her audience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They are genuinely, they're older than we are.
Yes.
And they are more successful than I am. But they
both
are,
of us.
Probably together.
Yes.
I always feel like, just like I expect like they're old Hollywood.
Yeah, I do feel like there's some money
Norman
out
Lear,
there. Yeah,
I think is probably in the audience sometimes.
There are amazing IMDb profiles out there.
Very much so.
Some actual residuals money from when residuals meant something.
Right, and they've bought land all in the Toluca Lake area, right around Vitello's. Several tables insisted I come over and say hi, which was very sweet. One of them strong-armed me in giving them my phone number. And I think we know that I'm pretty good with boundaries.
Yeah.
This woman, literally, she's like, do you know what airdrop is? And I said, yes. And she said, do you know how to do it? And I was like, no. And she's like, give me your phone. And then she airdropped my number to her, and then her number to me.
Why?
She would like to play board games with my husband and I.
Oh, man. I think you can't get out of that.
There's no getting out of that. She seemed like a very nice woman from Wisconsin, Merrill, Wisconsin. She's the youngest of 9. I got to know a lot about her in the short amount of time that we spoke.
Way too much bonding with the audience. You got to do your set and get the fuck out.
Well, I don't know how she actually came backstage.
Wow.
And there was no, I think she...
So she goes there a lot. She knows. She goes there a lot.
She knows the comics. She came backstage and found me in the green room, and she was like, "I want a game with you. I want to play board games." And then so I came back to her table with her, and I explained to her. She was like, "We're huge gamers," and her husband said something about dressing up and how that was a 3D experience. Not, I think what he meant was that it wasn't video games, and he thought that Andy and I would only want to play video games. And I said, oh, do you like LARPing? Do you guys do LARPing? And which, of course, led to the look on your face, on their face.
No, the look on my face is, you and Andy don't know these people are trying to fuck you.
Oh, do you think it's a bowl of keys party that I don't know that I've been invited to?
Yes.
Possibly. All I know is that I don't think it's going to work. I'm on the road too much. It's very hard. She seemed like a nice enough woman. Now, speaking of which.
Okay. Go. So I was in Atlanta, north of Atlanta.
Okay.
Way the fuck north.
Oh, really?
A 45-minute lift to the hotel with a pro-life Lyft driver. Yeah. And then...
they are not pro-life, by the way. They are anti-abortion.
Jackie, you're preaching to the choir.
Exactly. Let's never use the words pro-life.
But before I get to the gig, I got an email about a week beforehand from someone who had read my book, a woman who had read my book, and she lived near that town. And she's like, I can't believe you're coming. And then she told me about her son who had accidentally overdosed on fentanyl, right? Very long letter. And it's one of those, like, thank you. Your book helped me.
Yeah.
And even though it's not that.
Yeah.
I say up front, this is about losing an old person. And
right. This isn't just for all grief.
This is not
if you could
depths of grief, right?
Yeah.
But
she obviously
read
repurposed
a lot of grief books, right?
And she repurposed your book into a nice help with her grief.
Sure.
That's lovely.
So but then she said, we're coming to the show. And then she told me which show, and she told me the seat numbers. And again, I totally understand her intention, but as a comic, I do not want to know somebody has had a huge tragedy and what the tragedy is and is sitting in the front row, right? Or sitting up close. And I started going over every joke. I'm like, is this one? Because half of my jokes about my kid are him wishing I'm either wishing he was dead or I was dead,
right,
or my mother's dead. Like everyone dies in my act, right?
Your act is chock full of death.
So I'm trying to take out jokes. I'm like, is this one going to trigger a feeling in this person who's coming to laugh? And I never think like this, you know.
No,
and you can't.
Don't. Good for you.
But
and I say good for you.
I think I dropped like one or two things. I just was like, I don't want to bump into this. And then afterwards she came up and they had a great time, and she brought her husband and her mother. I mean, the whole family, like they lost their son or their grandson, and they're still traumatized, but they came to a comedy show and they had a good time. So
wow,
it was intense.
It's such a I mean, when somebody sends you this huge letter about how you changed their life, and they're like, but I'm coming to see you because I need to laugh, please send me that letter after and say, hey, I needed to laugh, I've always been a fan,
yes, I
came and I laughed, and thank you so much.
Right,
that'd be great, because before I just get in my head.
It spooks me.
Yeah, you get in your head. It's not cool.
I told you about this one time. I was working on this joke about suicide, and it wasn't that good, and it wasn't working. And I was trying to push it, and then it was at Cap City in Austin, long time ago, and I love all the sort of the asides of, it was a long time ago. I was just trying. It wasn't working. It was about suicide, but whatever. So I dropped it on the first show that night or something, you know, because I was just tired of pushing a rock uphill.
Right.
And then I get off stage. A woman comes up to me. Her son had committed suicide, and this is the first night out she's ever had. And the way he committed suicide was the way I joked about it in this joke that wasn't very good. And I was like, oh my God. Like, if you're going to go all out on it, go into that deep territory.
Right.
The joke has to be worth it. It has to be. Now, that doesn't mean when you first start writing a joke, it's going to suck for a while sometimes.
Right. Which is
like
hard
you don't
to
know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know, you're trying to figure it out. You're trying to find it.
Right.
And, but mine was like me trying to be edgy instead of me actually talking about something. So I'm just glad I made that choice for that show. I still think about this 15 years later, like, phew, you know?
Dodged that bullet. Wait a minute. Did he shoot himself? I'm so sorry.
Now, please, please don't ever tell me if your child drowned, because that's my closer, and I don't want to hear it.
Oh my God. Yeah. I keep forgetting to do, last week I did, somebody came out who listens to the show to the Rooster Teeth Feathers run.
Oh, how was Roosters?
Oh, it was great. It was really fun, actually.
Did you do Thursday through Saturday?
Sunday.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So Thursday one show, Friday one show, Saturday two shows.
I love the Friday one show.
And then Sunday one show.
Right.
And Heather came out on Sunday.
Okay.
Just and she's living further out of town, and I was just like, tell me you own this building. Is that why you're still here? And she said, I do not own this building.
Who owns
and
the
I
building?
said, why are you still here? And she goes, that is an excellent question.
Oh, no.
And,
don't start her thinking like that.
No, she was just like, well, I mean, her landlord likes her. And but get this.
Really? In the Bay Area that's happening?
That's happening. And get this about her lease. It's year to year.
Fuck.
That's terrifying.
I thought she had some 20-year lease at $0 a month.
Right. Nope.
Wow.
Right. Very weird, right?
Because that land is incredibly valuable. It's in Sunnyvale.
Right.
It's near everything.
It's right next to...
And it's a comedy club.
Right.
And you could actually keep the comedy club and build 15, or 25 condos on top of it.
Right. You could build around it like it was a community center, and just sort of like do some sort of structure above it.
How's that landlord's health? Because I'm sure his kids just want to fucking turn that property over, right?
Right. Well, and she was like, well, I don't know what I'm going to do when I'm done. Like if I'm going to sell it to somebody, and if he would let her. this whole thing. And
so he just likes having a comedy club there. Has he been the landlord of that piece of land since Tony Monica had it in the 70s?
Don't know. All I know is what you have been told at this time.
Wow.
That is all the information I have. But it was really fun, and it was a guy named Kyrie Shabazz, who lives here, who featured, and a guy named Andrew Holcomb, I think his name was. They were both actually very funny comics who opened, and
Cool.
Andrew's a Bay Area guy. And he lives with 15 other comics in San Francisco.
What? In
some sort of apartment that's been there for thousands of
is
comedic
it like
generations.
a Victorian with 10
Must
rooms?
be. It's got a lot of rooms, he said. And I was like,
there used to be like a flat like that near the Holy City Zoo.
didn't Ron Lynch have
Lynch, Alex Reed, Dana Gould?
Yeah,
people came in and out of the flat,
right? But I think it was run by Lynch.
Okay,
he was telling me about it. And but this thing, I don't know what they're doing. But I was like, how is it? And he said, it's dirty. And I was like,
oh my God.
Yeah, it sounds dirty. And I said, do you all have like a dorm fridge? Do you each have a dorm fridge? And he goes, no, it's a communal fridge. And I was like, well, that sounds foul. And he's like, it isn't clean.
And nobody's home at night. What a place to rob, right?
Except for that they're comics.
Yeah.
They don't have anything. They have nothing.
Notebooks. Steal their notebooks. Teresa Holcomb, I'm sure he's no relation, but
Right.
was a San Francisco comic. When I first started, she was emceeing and stuff. And then she married and moved to England and had a kid. She has a kid with an English accent. And I don't know if she does stand-up anymore. I don't think she does.
I like that the kid got an English accent. I don't know where that kid got that. That's weird. It's
Wait, this other thing happened in Georgia where I had to get a lift from the hotel to the venue. And
was this a pro-plague person?
no, the rest of my Lyft drivers were really cool.
Okay, great.
But she calls me like 3 minutes into while I'm waiting. She's like, I'm going to be a couple minutes late because I'm going to get a smoothie. and it just felt like, I'm in the South, man. They're in no hurry. She might be the only Lyft driver in this county,
She needs a break.
I'm like, hey, go for it. Give me some fries while you're at it.
I have now taken 2 Pilates classes.
Oh, do you like it?
I don't mind it, actually. It is funny about Pilates because it is tiny, tiny movements that don't feel like exercise in the moment. But then the next day,
oh my God,
you are very sore.
Right.
So I did one yesterday, and I have one tomorrow morning, and then I did one last week, and so we will see. All I know is parts of my body don't want to work correctly, and so it's supposed to be good for strength training.
Is she realigning things or what?
She is, interestingly enough. It's working with the Rolfing. She was like, your posture's really good. And I said, I just had my bones realigned by a Rolfer.
Oh.
And and she's like, that's worked. And she was like, do you have a roller? Like one of those long...
Fascia blaster?
It's not. It's a long...
I've seen those rollers, yeah.
Yeah, that you put under your shoulders and stuff. And I said, yeah, my Rolfer made me buy that. And she said, have you ever used it? And she shook her head while she said it. And I said, no. And she goes, nobody does. They're really nice, though. You should use it. And she's pretty funny, actually. I like her. And she's pretty understanding that this doesn't accelerate. My body does not really work out much. And I hired a personal trainer like 15 years ago. I was like, because I had a subscription at Bally's when I first moved here.
Bally's is the worst.
It was the worst.
Everyone have a subscription, join Bally's for like 3 months. Everyone's tried it. It's like 3 months for $99.
Yeah, except
and then you don't stop getting charged.
Right. And then what I did was I joined, I think in like 1996, and I was a member, I think, until 2003. But
you didn't know it.
I did. When I joined, I signed the paperwork, and my friend who talked me into it, she said, you'll never regret this. Because it was like $2,000. I bought the lifetime.
Oh my God.
In 1995.
$2,000 in 95?
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
It was so much money. And as I signed, I turned to Colleen Cruz and I said, I already regret it. And then I was a member for a long time. And then the personal trainer that I paid extra, he made me do so many squats and lunges that he fucked up my knee.
Oh.
Yeah, he was like, push it. He was that guy. He was a monster, kind of.
Like me with my son.
Yeah,
in water polo.
Except for that he's it's in the water, which also helps. And
But
your son is 12.
You have a lifetime membership, right?
No, it's over. They went into
Bally's-
bankruptcy and they're gone.
And did the company that bought Bally's, they don't honor that?
No.
Oh my God.
Not in
I'm
any,
outraged.
not in any way, shape, or form. But so I did. I had to take a lift to Pilates because Andy had a job interview down in Orange County.
Ooh.
I
Would
know
he
it.
commute to Orange County?
Well, there's a train right by our house that goes to Orange County.
Oh
so
my
he
God.
could.
That's awful.
I know, but it would be. He wasn't going to do it. He wasn't going to do it, and then he did the interview, and he was like, "It's kind of fascinating."
Oh, really?
Like he likes the project, you know. And,
So it's a temporary thing. Like
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know as much as any job is. I mean,
Right.
I don't think jobs in his field are temporary.
Right.
But there would be another
You
project after the
leapfrog
project.
from project. He's a project guy.
He is a project guy,
Kind
but
of
I
like
think
we're
that
gig gals.
he would go in. He would go in on this. He hasn't had a day job in 10 years.
That is
He's
such a
been
win.
a contract guy. Yeah. As he drove away, he said, "It's been 10 years," and I said, "Feel free to say no." And he was like, "I love you." And but so I got a lift down to Pilates, and then and then I walked to the grocery store, which was about a mile, and then I took a lift from the grocery store to my house, and the grocery store. The lift guy at the grocery store came almost immediately because he was at the In-N-Out. The reason for this story is because he was at the In-N-Out in the parking lot of Gelson's. And he was like, "I was just about to pull in through the drive-thru. I guess I'll wait." And I said, "Never go to an In-N-Out. What are you, nuts?"
In-N-Out's good. I mean,
In-N-Out,
they're
first of all,
Christian,
it is an In-N-Out. It's in and wait. In and wait and wait and wait and wait. And then eventually out. Because it is not a quick burger.
No.
And the food's just okay for me. But people love it.
I flew into New York. I got this
After Atlanta
gig.
or before?
No, so I flew in. I had already got a plane ticket for Friday. I decided to take an afternoon flight instead of the red eye. So I got in around 11:30, and I thought, let me save a little money. I'm going to take the train to Harlem instead from JFK instead of a lift because
Save a couple
I'm
of
going to
bucks.
be awake anyway, right?
Yeah.
So I might as well just be on a train. And so it
were
was like
murdered.
a 2.5 hour odyssey. I missed a few things. I walked by things, and so it took longer than it had to. And then the next morning, I flew out of Atlanta. I flew out of LaGuardia to Atlanta.
Okay.
And LaGuardia is under major reconstruction, but it's gonna be fucking awesome.
Okay.
when it's finished.
I love LaGuardia.
You can take a bus it goes right onto 125th.
Yeah.
And then from 125th, you can catch every train that goes into Manhattan.
86 and Amsterdam to LaGuardia is like $25 a cab.
God.
It's lovely.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
And then then I came back the next day, and then I had like 22 maybe spots in
22?
Yeah, that week. It was a Sunday,
A full week in New York?
Sunday through Saturday. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I had like two.
4 shows a night.
Yeah, one night I just had one show, but I was kind of okay with that. Mm-hmm. And then I had.
Were they all 10s? Like 10-minute sets?
They were all at least 15s.
Oh, nice.
15 to 20, and then the Broadway goes 25. So,
Oh, that's great.
So yeah, it was good. It was good. I had brunch with Wendy Starling and Kira Sultanovich, and that was really fun.
Yay.
Yeah,
That's exciting.
And then Wendy's talking about some, again, amazing stuff on stage. I saw her at New York Comedy Club. She's so funny.
Oh, that's
you gotta
awesome.
find her. She's working out some new stories that are just like, again, great.
Insane.
Yeah. And Kira, I didn't see her, but I know she's killing. She had
she
some
always-
Russian shit going on. So.
Kira Sultanovich, you guys.
Yeah, she's got
The
some Russian gigs, man.
Yeah.
And then I did Marita Franklin's podcast, Friends Like Us.
Okay.
She records it at Stand Up New York.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and Nia Hale Burr was one of the guests, and it was really cool. It was fun.
Hey, let's take a Max Fun break.
Okay.
What do you look for in a book? literally, if on the back it said, like, this book made me shit my pants, I'd be like, I'm buying this book.
Yeah.
Like, I think the problem with blurbs a lot of times...
I like that we both want to crap ourselves over books.
What's the best way to e-read in the tub?
Listen to that noise. I'm reviewing a plastic bag today.
How do you find a good book?
This is the most fucked up weird shit you've ever read. You're like, into it.
I'm like,
hand it over.
Take my money.
I'm Bria Grant.
And I'm Mallory O'Mara. We're Reading Glasses, and we solve all your bookish problems. Every Thursday on Maximum Fun.
Where are we at? 1935. Okay. Speaking of podcasts,
Yeah.
I listened to the very first Martha Kelly, Michelle Balloon podcast.
I have it saved. I haven't listened.
There are 2 of them now.
Yeah.
I was trying, as I texted Martha Kelly, and I was trying to figure out which of you is me. Oh, no. And I think you're both me, and neither one of you is Laurie. But Martha Kelly and Michelle Balloon, and it's a podcast they want it to be, I think. It was the first one.
Yeah.
Like, you know how we saved the first 7 or 8?
Yes.
There's the one we'll never air.
Right.
And then there's 7 that will just be on the Patreon.
Yeah.
And, but they just recorded it. Michelle uploaded it. So it is a hilarious, awesome mess.
They're super
funny.
funny.
What it is. And but they want it to, I think, be about self-help.
Oh, cool.
About the things that they're working on.
Oh,
so
nice.
it's not stand-up-y. It's just about they're trying to get their shit together. Mm-hmm. And you're like, oh, good. Anyway.
I this week, more trauma. On Twitter with comedy and Louis.
Comedy drama.
Once a quarter, we have to talk about whatever Louis C.K. is doing.
Now, what's Louis C.K. doing, you guys? Wow, how he did SkankFest. Wow, apropos.
Well, it's just a comedy festival.
It's just another comedy festival.
And it sounds fun.
Yeah,
It
Sean
sounds like-
Patton did it.
Yeah,
It's not like I'm not jealous and I didn't want to do it.
I would totally, dude.
I want to do.
We want to do SkankFest.
Yeah,
give us spots.
It's
all right.
Yes.
We never turn down spots. And so and it was a coup for them because
it was a drop in.
The crowd loved it. Apparently, and they got a lot of publicity for the guys that run the festival.
Did you see the latest thing, though?
What?
Is that they said Louis C.K. gets a standing ovation at SkankFest. And then someone said, there weren't any seats. They were standing. It was a standing.
They
was
were
a band.
excited.
They did cheer.
Here's the thing. All right, so it's a blip that's gonna keep happening. It's like herpes. It's just gonna keep recurring.
Right.
Okay?
It is a recurring disease.
What's a bummer is how many people, mostly guys, don't give a fuck what he did, or they think they have a walk it off mentality, and that just, to me, that's just 2 days later, E. Jean Carroll writes about being raped by President Trump, and it's the same shit. Mm-hmm. And the attitude, like you think, oh, what happened during the beginning of the Me Too movement broke everything open. It's like almost nothing's broken open.
No,
it's
and
a lot of people,
and
are
they're
still
circling the wagons, and protecting each other.
Right.
Which is everyone since I've been a child, they've told me all it takes is for these old creepy dudes to die. And they're like, as soon as the creepy dudes and the racists die, there won't be racism. As soon as the rapists and the sexists die, there won't be sexism. And
the young ones are
just as bad.
Yeah,
you know what? They're just they're on deck, 35-year-old dirtbags.
Yeah,
and you're just like, what? No, they're making more.
I don't understand being so excited by a potential Louis comeback. Like, there are certain people that seem very invested in it. Mm-hmm. And I tweeted this, but I think too, like, and of the guys, is it because you've done something shitty to a woman and you are afraid she's going to ruin your career by telling people about it, and you need an example of somebody who came back? That's the only reason I think guys could be that excited that Louis is back.
It's got to be guilt and remorse.
Now, maybe they think that they haven't, but in the back of their head, they also don't think jerking off, what he did is a big deal. So if you don't think it's a big deal, you probably have done something shitty to at least one woman, maybe 20,
Right.
And all you need
or
is
you
for-
stood by and let it happen. You stood by and,
Right.
and didn't stand up for people. And the thing is I wrote a blog about this right after UC Santa Barbara.
Right.
And it was because it was right when the Me Too thing started.
When the guy went
yes, all women
at Isla Vista
Yeah.
when he started
when he started shooting, and he said he did it because of bitches, man.
Yeah.
And so it was there's reasons they defend. I mean, there's only one reason why you would do it is because of guilt. And either it's things that you want to do and get away with, or it's things that you've done, or it's things that you haven't done. Like, I have guilt for not standing up for absolutely every situation, right? And that's because I am in my fucking head. But the thing is I have sat by while sexism happened. Not to me, to other people. And I haven't stood up for those women. I have not protected people like I'm not going to get a parade or a statue and I can't figure out whether virtue signaling is a bad thing that right-wing alt-right guys are using towards people that are standing up for things, or if it's
okay,
or
right.
if it's a real if it's a real thing, like if it's because thinking you deserve a parade for never saying the N-word, right? In Rage, but only in academia, which is how I've used the N-word, you guys. I've used it in
yes,
academia.
I've read your paper.
Right, it's just my my PhD was on the N-word, and no, but it was but like I know that I don't deserve a parade or anything like that, but I have stood by when other kinds of racism have happened around me, and I've either just sort of grimaced or shrugged it off and not been there for people. And I think that there are men who have stood by and seen sexism and seen bad things happen to the point of walking away when someone was being attacked.
Oh, well, I don't know about that, but I mean that, it's all speculation. But
No, I've had someone told me.
really,
Yeah.
Wait,
It's,
that
when he was a child, he was probably 14.
oh, okay,
He was at a party.
yeah.
And they were holding this girl down, and he walked away.
Oh, like the Brock Turner situation.
I guess.
Yeah, that's what he did to that.
And
woman.
and he didn't. He was like, he just left.
Oh,
And
shoot.
it still kills him. It
I
still
know.
beats him
I
up,
mean, it
obviously,
kills.
right?
It's for her
But-
and him.
For her and
you know?
him. And for him, the only good thing about this guy is that he's like, I know what I did was wrong. And I know that I was a child, but I knew that I should have stood up to it, and I didn't. And I won't not do it again. But I'm not willing to write off. He's not willing to double down on it. Say, well, women deserve it, or like he didn't react in that way.
Oh, yeah,
right.
right.
He just took the guilt. He took the guilt and owned it. Yeah.
It's like I was just listening to Marin's. He had Eve Ensler on from the Vagina Monologues, and she's written a new book where she imagines herself. It's called The Apology, and I haven't listened to the whole podcast, but she's talking about imagining herself as her father. Her father molested her, beat her, just the worst.
Yeah.
Everything you shouldn't do.
Right.
And so she writes the apology, I guess, that she needed to hear. From him.
Okay.
And tried to figure it out and stuff. I don't know. It's just weird that it's all sort of happening right now again. It just made me. It's just so disappointing. I'm so disappointed in the people that are so excited that Louis making a comeback.
Right.
Like there's so many other comics you could be excited about. You know?
I
And
also think that they don't. Some of the people actually don't know what he did.
Yeah, they seem to get that wrong. But the other thing is there's this lack of understanding about how women react to that kind of situation, the freezing that we do, right? And Karen Chi, who writes for Seth Meyers, I think, she tweeted about how somebody like a guy grabbed her after a show, and she just sort of smiled her way through it, and she felt awful afterwards, and she didn't. And it's like even we female comics, when we're not expecting it, we're like, ooh, and
you just respond as a woman. You don't respond. Well, yeah, with the power,
but yeah, and your baseline response is don't get killed.
Don't get killed.
Smile my way out of this. Don't get killed.
Please don't get killed. And we encourage that.
Stay sexy. Don't get murdered.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But so when Louis is cornering you in a hotel room and he's blocking a door and he's jerking off and you're just like, what the fuck is happening?
Right.
I'm here to get a deal. I'm at this festival to get a deal. This guy's famous. I don't want to get hurt.
Right.
I just want this to end. That looks to him. Who knows what it looked
she
like? She
should have just left. Is what they all say.
Right.
And you're like, they would have had to physically assault him to get him out of that doorway. You would have had to move him physically. And I would have. Right. I would have gone up and said, "Get the fuck out of that doorway. I'm not watching this."
26-year-old Jackie would have?
Yeah.
Okay.
26-year-old Jackie was actually like 20-year-old Jackie was in a room with a bunch of male comics who insisted on putting lesbian porn on the television and then started grabbing themselves. And I was like, fucking put them away.
Oh, my God.
And take the tape out. And we're either going to do this or we're not going to do this because I don't have to be around with you pieces of shit.
I told you about the guy who put in he said it was...
Oh, yeah.
It was a VHS of him on a TV show.
Oh,
and
right.
It was porn.
And it was porn. Was that an error, though?
I don't think so.
Okay. Because this thing wasn't an error, and I told them to fucking keep it together.
He took a cue from me and then pretended to be shocked and took it out.
Yeah,
but I think I could have tipped it the other way.
He might have been fishing. He might have been.
He was fishing. He took the boat all the way out to the middle of the ocean. Yeah.
Comic of the week?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Comic of the week, you guys. Portland comic, in for the duration, Susan Rice.
Yes.
Susan Rice, in for the duration. She has a podcast. What's the podcast called?
Oh, shit.
That's it. She
It's
just
not
told
called
me.
Oh Shit.
It's definitely not.
It's not called Oh Shit. It's called...
Stop Me When I've Heard This.
Yeah.
Stop Me When I've Heard This. That's right. It's called Stop Me When I Heard This. And her Twitter handle is LaughLady1, LaughLady1. And I've known her for decades.
Yeah.
And she's worked with Maria, up in Portland. And I run into her usually when I go up there.
The first time I did Gary Bynum's room in Albuquerque.
Oh, my God.
This was like, well, first of all, he owned the Albuquerque room. He ended up selling it to Ronnie Baca, and then Ronnie Baca died in a car accident, and then it was sold to Russ Rivas, and then Russ Rivas went to
Why
Las
do we have to
Vegas
say
or
Russell
something,
Rivas'
whatever.
name out loud?
I know you've got your issues, but so I drove in a what's this pantomime you two are doing?
What?
Well, I was asking if you wanted to cut the name.
Oh, no. Okay.
No. Russ Rigas is a piece of shit, and Jackie Cation would like to state that for the record.
She said it. She said it. I saw your thumb going down rapidly.
Because
I was confused. Wait, so you love this?
right, that's exactly what it was.
You were like, no, I'm very against it.
You're like, yeah, because Kyle was like, thumbs up, thumbs down, and I was like, no, thumbs down. Thumbs down on that.
That was the confusion.
He was I've told that story too many times to tell again.
I don't have that experience.
We all
I don't have
well
that
aware that I
experience.
did not enjoy that.
I'm sorry that you don't have
that it came
a
up.
positive experience with Russ.
But,
okay. But anyway, so back when Gary ran it, and I drove, I was emceeing Janine Gardner. Did you ever work with her?
No.
From Utah.
Okay.
I think I don't know what she's doing now.
Right.
But she was funny, and it was in a condo with her, Susan, and Janine.
Nice.
It's Susan,
Rice.
Janine, and me.
Yep.
And 3 women in a condo. I'd never had that experience before. And Janine was like, she was lighting incense everywhere. I'm like, what is this? This is Art and Pope. It was just
Were you
like
the MC?
Yeah, it was such
Okay.
a female experience,
Right.
of hanging out in a condo, and I'd never had that before. It was just
Right.
gentle,
Yeah.
and it was pretty cool.
That's
Anyway,
awesome.
Yeah.
That's so Susan Rice, you guys. Find her. LaughLady1. Do it. It's,
Okay.
by the way, I am going to be, when this goes up, oh man, it'll be after Kansas City. But I'm really looking forward to Kansas City because it's 5 shows. I need the long sets. I need. I've got all kinds of everything tightened up really nicely at Roosters.
Oh, that's great.
And so things are coming right along, and I've got a couple of great new lines that came up in the moment, which I appreciate. And
Awesome.
And I had and I had a couple of different people come up to me about the gender bit. Who one woman was like, "Hi, I've been kind of wrestling with that issue, and I heard Jackie and Laurie that you have that gender bit, and then you did it tonight, and I just want to say." Woo, I'm so glad it wasn't horrible. And I was like, how long have you been fucking listening to the show? I know. I was like, I don't know what you think I was going to say. But
Marina has a funny one too. Have you heard Marina's about they and how
they them?
She's done it on TV. So
oh, has she? What is it?
It's about how when she uses they, she sounds like a runaway slave.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's hilarious. But she does a couple examples. It's hilarious.
Right, that is...
but it's based at the premises, I want to be more woke. So she's like, that's where she's not making fun of it. She's making fun of herself and her attempt.
It's the other drama in stand-up comedy.
What?
Dice Clay.
Oh,
and Roseanne going on the road together.
Oh my God!
Did you hear about this?
I did hear about that.
Yes, Kyle. I don't know if you know this. It's an amazing show where Dice is wearing a red, white, and blue top hat, and Roseanne is Roseanne. And what's funny is he has actually been getting some traction as an actor. And some respect as an actor.
So he wants to ruin it?
He thought he would light it all on fire by traveling with someone who's clearly unhinged and needs her meds adjusted. And in real life, I just feel bad.
I don't know how that's going to... He tours a lot. Does
he?
Yeah, he does, yeah.
Okay.
But she... I don't know. I think she'd be tough to tour with.
Wow, take a stand. What a terrible, terrible idea. And the weirdest, people were posting about how what a terrible idea it was. And so I was trying to find, I think it was in 2000 or 99, might have been 2001, somewhere in those 2 years. Mm-hmm. Maria Bamford did an impression of Dice Clay.
Oh, yeah.
And wrote a poem in the Hickory Dickory Dock style. And I was almost certain it was on one of her albums or it was on TV, and I could not find it, but I went down a rabbit hole of watching her old sets on television, and they are great. Yeah. It turns out Maria Bamford, my friend since 1992, has been funny for quite some time, you guys.
Yes.
But there was a JFL from 2003, a Just for Laughs Montreal, 2003, where she did this joke about working in an office, and it was essentially, it was such an amazing joke about sexism in 2003 that would... there's part of me that thinks it's the reason why sometimes she didn't get a sitcom earlier, because it was so enormously, it's a smart, pointed joke. My favorite line is something along the lines of, "I'm so glad for $6.49 an hour that I net is allowing you some sexual satisfaction." I can't remember exactly how it goes. It's such a good joke, and it's so incredibly just eviscerates. Like, I love the way your graying neck hair curls around your collar, and it makes me. You're so much more attractive when you smile. She says at the end of it, she's like, your sexual dissatisfaction is so much more attractive when you smile, or something like that. And it was just like, oh, fucking take a scalpel and cut out that guy's dick. It was awesome. But I wish I could find that Hickory Dickory doc thing of Maria's. That was my whole thing with that.
I like it.
And so
my son started watching stand-up. Now, okay, so
Kevin Hart?
No, Kojo.
I don't know.
My son, for some reason, is watching Britain's Got Talent.
It's because he only watches YouTube.
I know.
So he can watch, I'm sure.
Yes.
Get him
Not
to
only
watch
that, but
Stuart Lee.
He looks. No, he's not ready for Stuart Lee.
He's totally ready
I just
for
started
Stuart
getting
Lee.
Stuart Lee last year. Okay, so my son isn't ready for Stuart Lee.
Oh my God, he's more than ready.
No, he loves Kojo, and
All right.
but he first of all he looks after the first set he looked up to see how Kojo did before he decided before he was going to invest any more time in him because Kojo won.
I don't know who Kojo is. Is his name Kojo?
Well,
Why is his name Kojo? What's happening?
He is.
Okay, is it Flo Rida? And what happened?
Are you just going to embarrass yourselves, the two of you?
Yes, because we don't know who Kojo
He
is.
happens to be an immigrant from Africa.
Right. And
One
his
of
name
the
is
African.
Kojo.
Yes,
And is English his first language or second language?
first.
It might be his fifth language.
Yeah,
But,
I mean his parents probably are.
Right.
But anyway, yeah, his parents are. Yeah,
but he has one name, sort of like Cher.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
is this an unusual concept? You're having to spend a lot of time breaking this down.
Yeah, I just want to know, like when push comes to shove, when he comes up again, because this is what happened 6 years ago. My nephew said to me, "My favorite comic is Kevin Hart," and I said, "Who is Kevin Hart?" And then this exact same conversation happened a long time where I was like, why is his name Kevin Hart? And is it Hart, H-E-R-T, H-E-A-R-T? And Michael Cation was like, stop talking to me, much like you are right now. How do you not know who Kevin Hart is what Michael wanted to know. So you've started watching him too?
No, okay, so I watched. Yeah, he's funny. He was funny. But then, he does, and this is what I think works on America's Got Talent is really expressing your desire to do well in front of the audience. I hope you guys like me, or I really appreciate like shit that we don't do.
Oh, trying to sell it before the jokes start?
I mean, I prefer to try to repel the audience. And if you like me, then that's your fault.
That's on you.
Yeah, exactly.
Good choice.
That's my theory,
Terrible
and not
choice.
this. I'm looking forward to entertaining you, but I think it works really well on America's
It's a great,
Got Talent.
it's an amazing
Yes.
sales
Okay.
technique.
Yes. So, so then so as soon as I get involved, I'm ready to like offer him 50 names of comics to watch. You like stand up? Oh my God. And now he's like, ugh, I never want to see stand up again. And so I bring up Tom Cotter. I go, that's Tom Cotter. I go, you had Christmas dinner, like a Christmas at his house. His kids. There's his kids on the show. You guys, when you were like 2 years old, you were at the Cotters. Mm-hmm. And
How'd
TV
that
goes
go?
off. I'm like, Tom was a runner-up. Not interested. You suggested it.
Right. I mean, that's part of the problem. I'm so
it's
sorry.
all the problems. The whole
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I can't show any excitement about anything.
no.
My son's going to this. It's kind of like a game developer camp.
Oh, he's got. Oh, really?
At
Game
UCLA.
design.
Yeah. So I'm
good.
driving him there. It's fucking. I'm in the car 4 hours a day now this
Oh,
week.
wow.
And so I haven't asked a word about the class.
Oh,
and I get
interesting.
little dribbles and drabbles as we're driving, but
Yeah.
very, very little.
Okay.
It's hard.
Yeah. Oh, I bet.
He will start telling me stuff when I tell him about my day.
Yeah.
Like if I'll just launch into a description of my day,
Yeah.
then he'll end that. He'll cut that off immediately with maybe something that happened at the class. But all I know is he seems happy. He's in a good mood.
Okay.
And for a kid who hates school all the time, it's like, all right, so he's liking this.
So is it? Do you think it's art based or do you think it's
It's
programming based?
kind of programming based, but he's
Okay.
working with Roblox, which used to be one of his favorite games.
Okay.
Last year.
Okay.
Jackie.
It's very last year.
Yeah, I
so
mean,
sorry.
I clearly should have signed him up for the Fortnite.
Guess what happened last night? Andy
What?
Ashcraft said to me, "Do you know there's a Pokemon Go for Harry Potter Wizarding United?" And I was like, "Now, why would you say that out loud?" As I downloaded it from the App Store. And have you seen it, Kyle? Oh my God! I was on it today, and I'm
Keep
like,
me off that text chain, you two.
I played it twice. There was a Dementor on Sunset Boulevard. Anyway, moving forward, I'm going to stop talking about it. We're going to Oregon.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to do a Jackie and Laurie live tour of Oregon.
You
so
fuckers
far, 2
better
towns.
show up.
Yeah. You,
It's Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah, it's a Friday, Saturday,
So
and maybe Sunday. Of
Come back from your
Thanksgiving
families
weekend.
as soon as possible.
Exactly. Head to Eugene and Bend.
Yes.
And then, because we're going to go to Eugene and Bend, you guys. And
They may have gotten that the first time you said Eugene and Bend.
right. And then, but it'll be November 29th and 30th and maybe December 1st.
Yeah.
We're working on adding on December 1st in Portland.
Portland. Yeah, the Sunday night.
And that is exciting.
Yeah. How much time have we done?
44. Want to take another break?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, Max Fun listeners. Have you been listening to Max Fun for a while and you've just been wondering, where's the new Flat Earth podcast I keep hearing about?
Well, here it is. We give you all the facts on NASA's lies and how we know that the Earth is actually flat. Just kidding. This is Ono, Ross, and Carrie, and we join fringe religious groups. We undergo alternative medical treatments.
And we hang out with people like 9/11 truthers, flat earthers. We find out, why do people believe strange things?
We join them, and we tell you all about it. We have a lot of fun. We make a lot of friends.
Yeah, we do. We joined the Mormons. We joined the Scientologists. We got acupunctured. We got fire cupped. We got ear kindled. We've done it all, and we're going to keep doing it all. Why don't you check out Ono, Ross, and Carrie at MaximumFun.org?
So, my sister called me a couple of days ago, and she said, have you seen this book on Amazon about Frank Balistreri? Frank Balistreri is the Corleone soprano of Milwaukee.
Okay.
And so the Milwaukee mob was run by a guy named Frank Balistreri. I don't know that my father knew him, but I think he met him.
Yeah.
And there was a time when my father was around, not the Balistreris, but so I said, well, you should send that book to Dad. And she sent that book to Dad, my dad. And my dad called me today because he thought that I sent that book to him because I think his connection to the Milwaukee mob is funny. And he is like, yeah, I read that book. That was a good book. And I said, well, you should call Darla and thank her for it. And he goes, and I said, how long? It said, it took 3 hours. And I said, did you learn anything?
Judas, your dad reads fast.
Well, I don't know how big the book is, but
Okay.
I was like, did you learn anything that you didn't know? And he said, no, I knew. He was like, and then he mentions a couple of guys that he knew. He was like, oh, they mentioned that guy. That's kind of nice. And I said, oh, good. That's fun. What did he do? He said, oh, he's a hitman. And I was like, I don't enjoy this conversation anymore. So I'm going home to look at him July 13th to the 16th, which
Yeah.
is during
Our birthday week.
and Liz Winstead is having a protest in Milwaukee.
Garbage fire.
Garbage fire with a Y.
Yeah.
FYRE. Garbage fire.
Oh, I went to that thing.
The website?
No, I went to Sarah Silverman had this on the top of her, the rooftop of her apartment building.
Okay.
And there's a ton of women there, and we all donated lots of money to this group that is making sure women have access to abortion in Georgia.
Oh, in Georgia.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, but that's when Liz announced the garbage fire thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
I didn't. I didn't know that I was, because I was going to go for my birthday weekend, but then Andy said that he had a plan for my birthday weekend, and I was like, well, that's good since my family won't even know that it's my birthday, and so I decided not to go for the weekend of the 20th, but instead go the weekend before.
Cool.
And I think I land on Saturday the 13th. Mm-hmm. I think I'm going to drive up to Madison and just go to the club. And poke my head in and remind everyone
on
that
State?
Yeah,
I've never
Comedy
worked
on
that
State.
club.
I've worked it twice. It's a great club.
Yeah, I heard it's a
in
great
my-
club.
it's
How come they don't want me? How come they only want you twice?
How come they only want me twice and they don't want me again? I don't know, but I'm going to go remind them that I exist in person.
That's
Ron
fucking
Funches is headlining that weekend.
Oh, that's great.
So I should be able to get in.
Get a set,
But
yeah.
Blair, I don't know how do you say Blair's last name. Sochi?
Yeah.
Sochi?
Sochi? Yeah.
Okay. She's featuring And,
cool.
he's bringing the two MC and feature.
Oh, nice.
Did you see that there was a bunch of
Tom Segura and who else?
and Nikki Glazer?
Yeah.
And talking about how the money hasn't gone up for MCs
in 20 years, MCs or features.
30 years.
Yes.
It hasn't gone up forever.
Yeah.
Gas has.
Yeah.
And
and
they stopped putting features up.
Yeah.
So literally it's a pay cut.
Yeah.
And so the comics I know that are grinding it out as features on the road can't afford it. I mean, they're living in the worst poverty. I mean,
They're living in cars.
They're not even, they're homeless. It's not cool. It is. So Tom Segura was talking about it, and Nikki Glazer was talking about it, and Maria's been talking about it for a decade. A decade. So, and she's always bumped everybody money-wise.
Yeah.
MCs, features, whoever works with her. And Nikki Glazer was talking about how she has to bump the pay of her MCs and features so that she can sleep at night, or what, essentially.
Right.
And who doesn't want to?
Yeah.
People want to sleep. And they get paid pretty good. Tom Segura and Nikki make good money.
Yes.
So they can afford to do it more than others.
Yeah.
Like normal headliner money, if you're making $1,200 for the weekend, for a 5-show weekend, it's hard to give up any of that.
Yeah.
If they're not covering your air.
Right.
And that's what headliners without credits, if you get to headline, that's what they get. And then it goes up to like $2,300. And then when you're at Nikki and Tom Segura's level, I think it's like $5,000.
Yeah. But the club should be
covering this stuff.
Yes. It's the club's job to do that.
Yeah. Pay your MCs.
Yeah.
Pay your features. And
performing isn't payment.
No.
Performing is a service.
Right. We're already doing most of the work here, folks. So
Really, seriously, I mean, half these features and MCs have more social media presence than the headliners they're working with, and they're bringing people to the shows,
Yeah, they're grinding it out. And I just remember back when you weren't supposed to sell merch.
Oh,
because
my God.
It wasn't cool.
Right.
And it was when they were putting features up, at least.
That's
and
right.
then,
you could afford to be a snob.
You could almost afford to be a snob. You could afford to be broke. And then the standard joke, I remember, I don't know who wrote it, but I remember the first time I heard it was like in the mid-'90s, where some feature was doing a road gig. He said, people say, what do you do during the day? And I said, well, I like to go to the mall with the headliner and watch him spend money.
Oh, yeah, right.
I remember that old chestnut. Mm-hmm. That's a good one.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that
up. A lot of silence.
What do you got? Well, you know what's interesting? You and I, another headliner asked us what we got paid at a club, and we both sent copies of our contracts.
Yeah.
And you and I had the same commute to the club. You got $150 more for airfare than I did, and you got $200 more for pay, I think.
Right.
It was just an interesting comparison of my then representation and your current representation.
Right. It's literally the money that they pay one headliner to the next headliner. I believe it's standard shitty pay for MCs and features.
Yeah.
The standardization of shitty pay for MCs and features.
Because they don't have anyone fighting for them. They don't have a manager or an agent going.
Though I say that, and then I think about it, and I'm like, it's standard in some clubs, but in other clubs, it does fluctuate.
What they pay the features.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Acme doesn't. I think it's the same for everybody. Though if you're out of town feature, I think you get an extra $200.
Okay.
But you don't get put up.
Yeah.
And
you got to have a friend or something.
Yeah. It's you got to know Mary Mack and Tim Harmston well. And but the headliner money is so arbitrary from, literally anywhere.
And the person that texted us should be making more than us.
With better credits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was making a lot less.
Yeah. She was,
That was very surprising.
But I looked at the numbers again, and she had the option to make more money.
How?
Because of the door deal. Her door deal was better than... I didn't have a door deal. Mine was a flat rate. You had... Did you have I think you had a bonus worked in, if possible.
Right.
If you sold enough. Mm-hmm. Mine had no chance for advancement.
Okay.
And it was literally a flat rate for the flight and a flat rate for the weekend.
Yeah.
And then yours was a flat rate for the weekend, flat rate for the flight, but with an option to bonus, which would have, if you would have hit the bonus, would have been $300 more than mine.
Yeah.
But you, I don't think you did.
No.
And then hers had several tiers of bonuses available, which was weird. But it's the same club. It's
I wonder. I mean, how much work is she going to have to do to make those bonuses? Right? Like,
Right.
do you think?
well,
'Cause she's doing. Yeah, I mean,
you would think that she would get it, but there's no way to just letting Kyle in on the names.
Yeah,
you guys.
yeah.
And so, but there's no way to make sure you have enough social media presence, even if like if I were on Conan every night. I don't know that I could make all those bonuses.
who knows? Yeah, it's tough. I mean, there's a ton of content.
Right.
It's almost like what we are hoping to build is what we're doing here.
Yeah.
It's kind of like SkankFest and Joe Rogan. They've created communities.
Yep.
And their fans respond and they show up and they spend a lot of money. And,
Right.
And people can make a living. They can make money.
Right, the
doing
Murder
it.
She Wrote people as well.
Right.
What's it called? My favorite
My
murder
favorite
she
murder.
wrote. My favorite murder
but
she
that's-
wrote.
Even that's like I don't think we've done. There's a female version of Rogan.
Yeah.
Where it's a. No, but
except
I mean,
for My Favorite Murder is only a female version of Rogan because of the numbers, not because of the content.
yeah, and the fact that there's like you're saying, Fitzsimmons, Greg Fitzsimmons
Yeah.
is like I get on Rogan every couple months. There's we don't have that, and they're very male oriented. Like they'll
Right.
throw Eliza on every once in a while. They'll have a female comic every once in a while, but it's guys talking about guy shit, and that's allowed to exist. They don't have to break up because we want
Right.
our thing too. We just don't have it in a way where numbers can be influenced. If you appear on so and so's podcast, a female
Chelsea
comics,
lately used to help.
yeah,
She was
but
as
that's
close
a
to it.
TV show. I mean,
that
of
was
course
as
that's going to
close-
help.
Well, except for that it was a TV show on E! And
Yeah.
it was such a weird round table of like it really made some good careers.
Oh, it did.
from
Guy
that.
Branum and Jen and
Yeah,
John
and
Kirkman
and so what I
Fortune.
I think it did. I think it did that thing for it. And there has to. I feel like there's got to be some woman out of New York who. And when Nikki had her podcast,
Nikki has something on Sirius now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
We don't have the same outlet.
Right,
yet.
but there might
Yet.
be.
I mean,
Right.
maybe somebody will.
We'll break through. And
Yeah. I mean, there's guys we fucked, but that's I feel like that's really targeting millennials only in a way. They're
turns out I'm willing to pander to millennials. If any millennials
yeah, but
would
how
like,
many guys have you fucked, Jackie?
not enough. It's true. It's true.
That's always the answer. So I get a letter today from my former agency. It's my former agency is the WGA. They're all in these lawsuits, and the WGA just filed. I forget exactly how they did. They filed because WME, my former agency, they went public. And so the WGA said, well, they filed something with the SEC, the Security Exchange Commission, saying, hey, these guys went public and they're pretending they have 1,400 extra assets, writers than they do. They don't have us anymore.
Yeah.
And so that's a violation. Like, I think they're saying they knew that was coming and they didn't warn any investors, and that's a violation of
the FCC rule.
Yeah, whatever it is. I don't
FEC?
know. Yeah, SEC.
SEC.
But anyway, so I get
acronym.
a letter from accounting asking
Yeah.
for commissions that I already I sent
You've already paid.
in 2018.
Okay.
And there was like this huge to-do with my agent about that. And we went over every single thing. I went over all these deposits and I'm like, this matches this, and it was supposedly cleared. And now they're trying to get more money from me again.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, it's annoying. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's annoying.
Yeah.
And do you have that? Did you do it over the phone or did you do it?
I think I have enough emails
documentation?
to support it. And also I have, there's
The check stubs.
There's
Yeah.
banking statements.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Here it is. Everything.
This check has the word hilarities in the memo. So yeah, I fucking paid you for hilarities.
I never did hilarities. That'll be a day.
It's fun.
Here's the great thing about, I was talking to somebody, it was today, about wanting to do more of these smaller clubs in these towns and just go, if there's just a way, I just think that I've been overthinking it the last couple of years, trying to get into the big chains, you know? And I think it cost me more money, and the Improv is never going to put me in their weird 450 seat rooms.
Is that even fun to work at 450?
Well, that's the other thing I was thinking about. I was like, how great is it to do these 70 to 120 person rooms in these mid-sized towns? I want to go to Birmingham. I want to go to Knoxville and Lexington and Pilot's Knob or whatever the fuck. It's not Pilot's Knob.
Where Dollywood is?
Yeah.
Pigeon's Forge.
Pigeon Forge.
Yeah.
Pigeon Forge. And which I keep calling Pilot's Knob. And I just think, maybe that's what I'll name my next child. Oh, by the way, I'm menstruating. Hey,
dude,
guess what?
High five.
No, it just means I'm not pregnant again, you guys.
Not on my couch,
What?
right, Jackie?
Not on
my
your white couch. This couch is no longer white. I'm a bleeder. Boo. Wrap it up, I say. Oh, wait. Speaking of which.
What? We're done. Oh, bye.
MaximumFun.org.
Comedy and culture.
Artist owned.
Audience supported.